either belong to Pakistan or have roots in Pakistan. Pakistan has been put in financial action task force in grey list almost 4 to 5 times for money laundering and terrorism. So there is no denying the fact it's well-known phenomena that Pakistan is an epicenter of terrorism, and they keep on sending terrorists across to other countries to basically lead those countries. It is not only India. They tried with Afghanistan, they tried with Iran also, just other fully militant groups which have been sent. But one thing is very clear, that this time the NIA has made a very foolproof case, and the supplementary charges which is bringing out in detail as to how the Lashkar-e-Taiba was involved and how Hafiz Saeed, the one who has personally taken interest in this Pahalgam dastardly act, I think nothing is left to the doubt.
All right, I'd request my guest to stay on with me. Joining me now is Professor Madhav Nalapat. He's the editorial director of the Sunday Guardian. Professor Nalapat, welcome. And of course, we're discussing the fact that the NIA has filed charges against Pakistan-based terrorist and LET TRF chief and founder Hafiz Saeed in the dastardly Pahalgam terror attack case. What would you like to say?
It will further cements the very wide correct belief that Pakistan is the epicenter of terror in South Asia. And I'd like also to say that, sorry to say, the international community has not woken up to this fact. The Pakistan military is hand in glove with the terror forces, and that is astonishing. A military is supposed to fight terror. This is a military that is breeding terror, that's providing safe havens to terrorists. And frankly, the civilian and military leaders are openly consorting with terrorists. Training camps are known. What kind of training is going on is known. Satellite tracking is enabling all that. So I just want to say that Pakistan military being shameless, this additional FIR will not make much impact on them. But it again further cements the very clear picture of Pakistan as the epicenter of terror in South Asia. Thank you.
All right, Professor Nalapat, I do want to go back now to, of course, Major General A.K. Sivaj. Major General Sivaj, there's also the question of this, supplementary charge sheet. How do you read into that? Because then the investigation will expand further. Perhaps there'll be more names added. How do you see that?
As far as the supplementary charge sheet is concerned, this has been filed almost after 1 year plus, because the investigation has been carried out. Technical and scientific issues have been added to that. And this is a foolproof charge sheet, which gives a complete evidence as to how Lashkar-e-Taiba was involved and how Hafiz himself, as a leader of Lashkar-e-Taiba, was involved. So there is no doubt left now. It's only the investigation is complete, the charge sheet is filed. But unfortunately, can someone take action against Lashkar-e-Taiba? Because if you give this evidence to Pakistan, Pakistan is always in a denial. I still remember when Hillary Clinton came in 2011 as a Secretary of State in Pakistan. She warned Pakistan that if you have snakes in your courtyard and you think they will only bite your neighbors, one day they will bite you. So they keep on telling Pakistan they themselves are victims of terrorism. But they have not stopped sending terrorists to India. There are about 280 terrorists which are still sitting on a launch pad of Lashkar-e-Taiba Jammu to be inducted into Jammu and Kashmir. That's a different thing, that our counter-infiltration grid is very robust, it's not allowing. So the point is that we have got a complete evidence that in showing to the world that as to how Lashkar-e-Taiba was involved in a dastardly act which has happened in Pahalgam. But will the world realize that? Will the world see through that the Pakistan is a country which is an epicenter of terrorism? Enough is enough. I think India has to fight its own battle. And India has told in no uncertain terms that in case if any action or any terrorist action take place, it will be taken as an act of war. And Operation Sindoor is still on. So the action to any such dastardly act will be very strong. But all said and done, this supplementary charge sheet is foolproof. It gives all the data, and it leaves no doubt that it was Lashkar-e-Taiba Jaish-e-Mohammed involvement, and also Hafiz Saeed personally was involved in planning this disaster there.
All right, I want to now go back to Professor Madhav Nalapat. Professor Nalapat, the question also, I want to ask you the same question, the question of the supplementary charge sheet. What is your take on that? When it comes to new names being added and the fact that the investigation is expanding. All right, we seem to have lost the connection with Professor Madhav Nalapat. I want to go back now, viewers, to Major General A.K. Sivaj. Major General Sivaj, when we hope for peace when it comes to Pakistan, we don't get that kind of, perhaps a reaction from them. What is the permanent solution, perhaps, in your opinion, though there seems to be none, when it comes to this incorrigible terror nation called Pakistan?
Pakistan only understands the language of strength. And we are now in that stage, especially after last 10, 12 years. Firstly, the NIA has been very strong. We don't find any major incident taking place in other than Jammu and Kashmir because our agency has become much more stronger. But at the same time, do you think that Pakistan is going to change the track? I don't think, because their policy of leading India with 1,000 cuts will continue. And now they are emboldened by what has happened between the relationship they have managed to get it between Iran and US. They will start with this A2 business in Kashmir and Khalistan, with the election in Punjab are going to be next year. So we have to be very vigilant and we have to be very, very careful. The only solution as far as Pakistan is concerned, hit them hard, isolate them, economically drain them out, and try to show this evidence to the world, and also try to push the international institution like Financial Action Task Force to place Pakistan again in a grid. Also, it has to be a multi-pronged strategy. No one solution will work against Pakistan. But Pakistan has got its own problem. There is a political instability, economic crisis, and terrorism increasing manifold in Pakistan. There are chances of Pakistan itself getting into a civil war, and especially what is happening in POK, it gives an indication to that. And if that happens, Pakistan can break into 4 parts. That is Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, Sindh, and Punjab. And POJ can get it Pakistan, which is basically a part of India, illegally occupied by Pakistan, can come to India in time to come.
Right, Major General Sivaj, please stay on with me. I'll come back to you.